in the lane. Combine that with Blood Grenade, which is a standard item, a couple of those with the position 5. Seems like a really strong lane already.
Yeah, I was definitely seeing how they build the Lycan right now, if he's more comfortable with going the HOD or if he is going to play more like a universal hero with the Echo Saber, with Manta. A big problem that Lycan has versus Terrorblade generally is the reflection gives the passive to Terrorblade, which is very, very bad on top of the extra auras on top of it. But if you do go for that other build where you have Manta, you do have a Dispel now for the reflection, which could be useful there. But you are going to be playing a bit more greedy if you go that route. You're not going to be as high tempo if the Beastmaster does want to go for that build. You will have to evade what I would like Gaimin Gladiators. And it's not easy to evade this team if they get off to a good start. They love buying the auras. They have a TB, they have a Beast. They can end the game in like 20 minutes. So you have a difficult choice here if you are playing this offlane Lycan of what do you want to do in this game.
Yeah, I like the Gladiators draft right now just because it gives them a lot of deathfall potential between all the auras and stuff like that. That'll make it a little bit harder playing against Alchemists because there's going to be some potentially higher farming carry in the enemy's team, kind of putting you on a bit of a timer. But so far, I like what both teams are doing.
They did ran this Alchemist plus Lycan combo already a couple of times and it looked really good. Usually Alchemist for 9Pandas does come out in the last picking stage, but this has been Ramses' classic already. I believe he played it 6 times and looked really, really good on it. It's also like a Radiance carrier when you play it into Terrorblade, but seems like they don't care too much about it because of the reflection.
Across those 6 games, you only lost a single one of them on this Alchemist so far at the Riyadh Masters. And even at Bali Major, whenever they had their backs against the wall, they would rely on their Ramses Alchemist to bail them out of trouble. Fear. We have not seen good things out of techies at this tournament. Man's struggling so far, so talk to me about this. Why deploy it in this particular position?
Well, there's no Rubik, so we talked about how Rubik was kind of the better techies right now. He still does the job, and they need a hero to try and help Lycan get outside of this laning stage. They have now confirmed that Lycan will be off lane, because we don't really see Lycan mid very much, so his flex was either going to be carry or be in the off lane, but now they picked Alchemist. Lycan is for sure going there, so they need a strong support to try and help them get a good laning stage. And Stekkeys, he's still good at that, and so maybe their best option.
I really like him because he's only been picked 10 times. He's got a 50% win rate, which is fine. That means in the right cases, he can be good. And the main thing that they're missing on their team is AoE damage, actually. Lycan doesn't bring it. Undying doesn't really bring it. Alk doesn't do that much. So if they want to clear summons and illusions, Stekkeys is great at that. He's doing tons of magic damage, and he's amplifying magic damage that they deal. Not that there's much on the rest of his team yet, but I'm saying by himself, if he launches himself into a TB, they can definitely do some damage.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely going to be good in like the team fights, but you're already playing versus Terrorblade now. You're playing versus Chen. It's going to be a lot harder to get your ultimate just like placed all over the place around these Roshan areas. He's going to be able to easily pop those mines with the lineup that you do have on Gaimin Gladiators. So it's really just going to be like we need that damage for the initiation, and they don't have that initiation yet, other than the Alchemist. So maybe that's what they're looking for on their last pick here.
Interestingly enough, we see some of these heroes that have been banned game in, game out. Obviously, most of them involved in this game as well. This Chen hero, though, we're talking about heroes that have been 50-50, as Purge mentioned, Lacoste. But
He's
Chen
way below 50-50.
22% win rate at this tournament after 22 games.
Yeah, it's not looking too hot. I mean, I think if he's paired up with Terrorblade, that's fine, because you want to have some relatively self-sustainable safe laner if you can like provide him, get him to that like level 3, level 4. Also, Lycan doesn't provide too much pressure onto Terrorblade, so I think this Chen overall is going to be fine, because Chen wants to go into jungle, farm a little bit, then show up in the lane. But it's a really strong timing coming up from Gaimin Gladiators. Looking at Chen, so that's going to give him a lot of sustain. Terrorblade, Beastmaster Aura. This is a strong like 25-30 minute timing draft from Gaimin Gladiators that also scales well. Like they don't necessarily need the end game by any means, but now looking at the bans, I feel like 9Pandas, they want Ember Spirit. Like they want some
looks like it, yeah.
Some low cooldown, some hero that can just like play around, have someone to set things up for a potential blast off, because looking at the bans like Snapfire and Huskar, my brain just stopped for a second. These are really good heroes against Ember, so now they need to find the Quinn's hero.
Yeah, I like the Ember pick, but the thing I'm worried about Chen, it's got a bad win rate. 23 picks, 26% win rate. It's not good.
If there is a team
it's bad.
to make it work, so I think it really fits Gaimin Gladiator's style. Like the other options for Celery here, he loves his Io, he loves his Enchantress, he loves his Undying. 9Pandas took care of all those, like they're banned or picked, so he had to come up with something new. Like he liked playing Lion, but who wants to play Lion against, Lycan? No one does. So they're balling up. They're doing that thing where they're going to buy a bunch of auras, and they're going to have like this really strong timing if they can have the laning stage. Now it's up to Quinn to find a unique hero, I think, for this tournament to try and punish this Ember, because what's left for him? It was just the Pango, but that's not good for Ember, so he had to find something new.
That's a big one. This is really, really good, not just answer for this Ember, because they also needed some kind of a lockdown in terms of catch. They had Rubik's Lift, which is level 1 at the early stages of the game. Beastmaster Roar, you know that Beastmaster does not want to move from lane to lane. He wants to sit, he wants to get the farm, get his Helm of the Overlord, but this Dragonite pick, I'm really liking it, because if you look at their damage, 9Pandas damage is mostly physical. This is all 3 cores relying on heavy physical damage, and Dragonite, like, he doesn't care too much about it. I feel like Gaimin Gladiators are drafted themselves a really good draft here.
I mean, I like that the DK is very survivable, and it does give them another stun, but I feel like their team fight's a little lacking. I feel like they're good at killing like 1, maybe 2 heroes, and then their damage is going to fall off until like TB and Quinn with the Dragonite are really amplified by the auras. So they're good at death pushing and pushing towers, I feel like, but I think there's some other weaknesses.
If this game starts to scale into the later portions, Fear, which draft do you feels the best between these 2 lineups?
The best. It's hard to say, but I know my Gaimin Gladiators pretty well, and when they pick a draft like this, they generally don't lose, I will say. Like, normally they're experimenting a little bit. Quinn's playing carry. They don't have this full death ball. I think Gaimin Gladiators, when it comes to the aura game, the timing, the tempo push, they're the #1 team in the world at doing this, and that's exactly what they drafted here.
All right, give me some votes, gentlemen. Pert, I'll start with you. Who's going to win game 1?
Yeah, that does give me a lot more confidence. If that's the strat that they win most on, then yeah, that sounds good. I'll go with Gaimin Gladiators.
Gaimin Gladiators, Lacoste, how
I'll
do you feel?
join. I'll go with GG.
Going GG as
It
well?
has to be GG, yeah.
Been here before, where a panel really loves Gaimin Gladiators. As Fear mentioned, they are 100% win rate so far on the Radiant side of the map. They have one of their better strategies that they've deployed to be on the Radiant side. So it does feel like this is going to be a difficult situation for the side of 9Pandas. However, don't forget, this is Ramses on the Alchemist, y'all. Let's not underrate this man. Whenever they feel like they have a difficult matchup, they whip this out, and they generally do tend to win. I had a conversation with the CEO of 9Pandas, as you were telling me that this team, above all else, prefer being on the Dire side. So you get great hero player combinations on a side that they prefer. Even in a matchup, you know, both sides have their side that they prefer, but, you know, there's a little bit of tension in this matchup. It's Ramses versus Quinn, so neither of them want to lose. We want to be seeing exactly how both of these teams are going to be matching up in game 1. To find out, we have our incredible casting duo of Sunsfan and Kezu. Gentlemen, give us the cage match.
Thank you very much. That's right. It is a cage match because it's Quinn versus Ramses. But the problem is Quinn has won every single time. Kezu, you were looking up the stats. Why don't you give us a little rundown on how that's gone?
So they've played each other like in 5 different series, and 9Pandas were never able to like truly win. They could like draw a series with like 1 win in like a BO2 or 2-game series. All the other times, Gaimin Gladiators have just been victorious. One thing I'm looking forward to Ramses not doing in this game is tipping Quinn prematurely. Because that has always backfired every single time.
I think it's a 0% win rate when he does that.
Literally.
I mean, that's part of the draw of Ramses is this inherent cockiness.
I love Ramses.
He has grown a lot, maybe not in height, because he is quite a small human being, but we do love to watch him play. And I'm excited, and you were disgusted by my initial reaction. When I see an Alchemist, I actually unironically get excited because of the inherent Aghanim Scepters that we will not see, of course. It's just the idea that it's possible.
Honestly, there is a way in this game, because most of the time as a carry out, you don't really want to give Ags away because it doesn't help you.
Yeah.
But in this game it could, because you give it to Miero, who then bites your ass, and suddenly you become this Wolf Alchemist Gold Man who just runs around. So we have some little trading going on.
Would love to see it. The Sticky Bomb somehow connects, as the concoction will be used onto Tofu instead, with the War Grenade as well. And 9Pandas looking to get their first blood onto Tofu, but the Breathe Fire gonna reduce a lot of damage there, and they're not gonna go any further. So only damage done, and back to the lanes they go. I would love to see, I mean, there was that meta during TI-10. I was casting some of it with...
Tiny Owl?
Yeah.
That was great.
No, it was Tiny Lichen, right? Because you're biting the Lichen every time with the Christmas tree.
Yeah. That was some...
pretty hype.
Some good stuff. Luckily, that is not in a game anymore. I do think that Gaimin Gladiators got themselves a pretty damn strong draft. I think especially the second phase with the TB into the Chen to close the phase. Very good in the lane against Lyking. You can always steal the Wolves. You have the Auras later for your TB as well, who has very good core matchups in this game. I think for 9Pandas, it's very, very important that in the laning phase, Antares gets off to a good start, because I need to see him with like a Urn, maybe some 12, 13, 14-minute vessel where he can then go together, they get this Radiance, because they need to get the ball rolling. They need to win the mid-game and push forward, otherwise Gaimin, they're going to have some incredible core matchups later on in this game.
Yeah, and Solo, I mean, they picked the 2 supports that were nerfed, quote-unquote, in the last patch. Techies, we've been over the nerfs to him.
Yeah.
I feel like it's very minor, but for whatever reason, teams are not picking it nearly as much. And then the likes of Undying, which looked like a bigger nerf, but we've been seeing some crazy Tombstone grab ally action. And they've been using more of the single target aspect to that.
Easy for Celery.
Yep,
Gets to, I mean, they're not very good at dealing with these stolen wolves, right? There's no like Inch to counter seal it or Mirana to just end up airing it. So these wolves on bottom gonna be pretty annoying. But the mid matchup, I would say Quinn is probably the best mid laner in the world. But Kiyotaka, whenever he goes up in this matchup, I think he does surprisingly well. One of the best up-and-coming players, in my opinion, from not just the CIS region, but overall. So Kiyotaka, we're gonna have to keep our eyes on him because he's got some. I mean, this guy's good. This guy's got some moves.
He's had some monster performances. I think the first hero that comes to mind for me is the Tinker.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
And, I mean, you don't want to see that, of course, because it is filthy in every regard. But, yeah, he's definitely had a very good year as Blood Grenade onto Miero with the metamorphosis of Dyrachyo. He's going to pop his wand to try to stay alive. And it looks like he will be able to survive here. But still, lots of damage done. Meanwhile, Ace and Tofu kind of pushed out of lane for the time being. Gonna have to leech a bit of XP. But yeah, talk to me about Alchemist as a hero in this patch. Like, not the most picked hero by any means, as Miero getting a little too close for comfort. And that's gonna be first blood for Dyrachyo. He's taking massive damage from the tower though, so it ends up being a trade. Experience going the way of Antares. Gold basically swapped, but that was the first blood. So Gaimin Gladiator is still probably happy with this.
Dyrachyo is going to take it for sure. He's got the first blood. He also didn't lose any lane creeps as the Dire Wave is super pushing in as
mid
Quinn
lane. Quinn. Kiyotaka going to continue to pursue with that Flame Guard, but it's not quite enough. He's got 2 points in that Dragon's Blood. Once you get to 3, you can pretty much say goodbye to any potential kills without a +1. But yeah, back to Alchemist in this patch.
So Alchemist, I would say he's slightly underpicked. I wouldn't say he's necessarily great, but he's this type of hero when you need a timing carry that can also help you go in, like inside of the mid game. So teams that want to play mid game and play fast, I think Alchemist fits that type of style very well. He lanes well, you fall back into the jungle, you get fast gold, and once you have a Radiance, you can like slowly play forward. And Radiance plus 1 item, that's where you really want to go. That's why this 15-minute mark is so crucial. You're going to be top 1 net worth, but you have to use this net worth that you do have.
Right, with the inherent differences of the old Alchemist, as the Tombstone
Blood
comes
Grenade.
down, Blood Grenade, zombies continuing to chase, Concoction connects, Tofu trying to kill off some zombies to regain some movement speed, as Solo's going to fully commit to this, and the decay is enough. And Ace, like we've talked about before.
Another Blood Grenade.
Yeah, man, he really loves his Blood Grenade.
I love this.
Concoction's going to be fully channeled, and down goes the entire offlane of Gaimin Gladiators. 9Pandas is going to be super happy about this, but at the meantime, Miero goes down for, I believe, the 2nd time in the opposing offlane.
Yeah, they did lose Miero. He's going to have to try and get some levels down here because his lane is not going well at all. But yeah, 9Pandas, I would say teams have got a lot better over especially the last couple months at using Undying in the lane. Like, you don't have to hold on to this Tombstone all the time. You can just force it, like use it, get them out of the lane, or in this case even get 1 kill, dive more. That's also why Undying is so great with carries that can help you pressure in the lane. And Alchemist has got to be one of the best melee carries at doing so.
Yep, and looking at the CS right now, Mr. Dyrachyo is top in that regard, and this is part of the game that Gaimin Gladiators have been better than every other team easily throughout this last year, is the laning stage.
One of the very few things they're the best at.
And one of many, of course. They do win. I like how the the panel, it's just when you're predicting who's going to win and Gaimin Gladiators playing, it's just, I guess Gaimin.
Yeah, just make up some bullshit reasons. Like, you know, all right, that's how it is, boys.
We're just going to do it. But
look who's here. The old man Solo.
Yeah, making his rotation, puts down the Tombstone, blast off from Antares. That's enough to take out Celery. And Dyrachyo, Quinn versus Kiyotaka. They're both living on such low levels of HP.
Very dicey battle as Dyrachyo pops the meta to try and kill the Tombstone, it looks like. Will not be able to do so yet as they just protected. First active rune gonna come out soon, but we have Kiyotaka, he's going back to base. Tofu's trying to help Quinn out on that, so it looks like Laning stage might slow down a little bit until Quinn, maybe once he can regen a little bit of his HP.
Well, one thing to keep in mind, that 6-minute rune is now available, and Kiyotaka, like you said, went back to base. So if it's top, which it's not,
Easy
they'll
DD
spawn
for
bottom,
Entice.
and Entares making it there in time to be able to at least hold it or deny. We'll see if Quinn forces his hand or not, but if they get Kiyotaka the rune, which they do, that's pretty
Solo's
nice.
coming mid too. Quinn is only on half HP, and they do have a level of chains. Nice chains.
Yeah, Quinn, blast off connects, triple teamed and brought
Great
down.
kill.
So despite having that level advantage in the mid lane, because Quinn was level 6, Kiyotaka will be able to get his level 6 after this creep.
I mean, these are the most crucial things that you can do to a DK in the early game, is getting like even just one kill like this on him in the between like minutes 6 to 10. It is so crucial in slowing down this DK's game and pushing like Kiyotaka just slightly above the edge here. He's gonna have a slight network advantage, slight level advantage as well. So great move from 9Pandas here.
Yeah, Miero trying to avoid his 3rd death of the game.
He should be okay now in his bottom lane. He has 1 level in Pharaoh Impulse. That's not the biggest deal, but having the Helm of the Iron Will right against a mainly physical lane, so he's going to be able to recover. Lycan is pretty okay. Like, his network surprisingly is still great as Ace up top.
Yeah, Concoction's coming for him right next to the tombstone as well.
See you later,
Ace
bro.
is an easy kill, and this is something that we bring up time and time again with Gaimin Gladiators, is it feels like their lineups are usually catered towards getting Ace this ridiculous farm early, and he's already, I mean, this offlane is not going super well for Gaimin at all.
Yeah, 9Pandas have done a really nice job, right? You have this Undying, you do well in the lane. He's allowed to move bottom, get a kill there, swings back to top, does it again. Now they both end up mid. Quinn is going to have to be a little careful around the 8-minute rune as well. Kiyotaka going to TP base, kind of refill his bottle. But yeah, Ace not doing too well, so I think this is exactly what 9Pandas need and want in this little early game for themselves.
Yeah, but it looks like Tofu and Ace gonna perhaps start stacking some creeps, because that's one way to get Ace back in the game. Doesn't really matter what hero he plays, he usually does take these first few stacks, and that resets his game for the most part. As Kiyotaka finds Tofu, Quinn's gonna get the Dragon Tail to give his support some space, but the Remnant coming through. 9Pandas want to continue on here. That's the shield room for Kiyotaka. We'll bait out some spells, but we'll back away eventually.
I mean, if 9Pandas get to hold their mid tower, which they're doing a great job at doing so, right? Whenever Quinn is like kind of posturing up aggressively or using the Dragon form, they're bringing the supports mid to defend, then they can go back to the side lanes, pressure there, and then move back to mid once more. Because if they get to hold it, like Quinn is kind of the one that has to open up the mid tower, then slowly move top and maybe help Ace kick out Ramses. Because if you can play like this with an Alchemist,
top lane,
he's gonna stay like this.
Again for Ace. They're gonna catch him next to the tombstone. He
Roar's
gets off the
available.
roar though this time. See if that's enough for him to get away. Decay does connect. Solo continuing to pursue, but Tofu is there to help out to make sure that his offlaner does not die again, as Miero gonna pop that shape shift.
We see very similar plays. Both offlaners are forced to use their ults aggressively. Neither of them really like that too much, but I would say that hurts Miero a little bit more than Ace, as you kind of want to use this first shapeshift to like push the guy out of the lane, try to take over the map and kick out the carry. So I think both Birachi and Ramses are just going to continue to kind of live in their lanes, and it's more on the mid laners. Maybe they get a rune, or we wait for Quinn's DK blink to really like stray out to the side lanes and get something going in this game. As never mind, Quinn is just going for, he just wants to scale and chill.
Yeah, I guess so. He's done a decent amount of damage to that. I mean, I feel like at this stage of the game, in the games that at least we've cast, the DK mid will have the tower already killed by now.
Yeah.
So you have to give 9Pandas credit for delaying it. Still not quite there. And even some damage done to the Gaimin Gladiators tower.
Well, honestly, I'm kind of okay with the mindset. I think the idea here is that, okay, if we get through like this early and mid game, later on we have the late game secured, and if he rushes a blink, he doesn't really have the best heroes to play with, right? Like Chen 5 doesn't really do anything for you in an aggressive manner. You have one Rubik 4 who he needs to steal a good spell. There aren't that many of them, so you just kind of chill, you hold the map, and it's on 9Pandas to then push the game forward later, as they do not get the mid tier 1 tower. So Gaimin, they're very happy if they get to hold a flat map like this now.
Yep, and Quinn opting to go towards the Midas, which has been kind of the build these days for the DK. And Ramses, like you said, will be going for the Radiance. Already has the Sacred Relic, so a couple more minutes away from finishing that. And at what point do you think he's going to want to actually participate in fights? Is there a go time?
I think Alk has, it's like a very open timing. So when you get Radiance and you see your team do a move, I think you could join them just to like be this little +1 timing. As
Miro on Durachi, but he dodges the sticky bomb. Solo's here with the Tombstone to get the slow. Miro continue to chase as the lycanthrope. You get the blood grenade from Solo. He just has an endless supply of them apparently. Just a constant injection. Sticky bomb.
Sunder.
Durachio gets off the Sunder just in time, but Blast Off connects, and there's enough burst damage from the side of 9Pandas to eventually bring him down. Nicely played.
I like that. Like, you just have Gaimin Gladiators heroes. They don't really protect each other, so you just abuse that by bringing numbers, run them over with your little Lycan Zoo here. You just pop the shapeshift. Great movements by Solo so far in this early game for sure, being kind of all over the map with some really nice body blocks. Sure, we do have the Sunder coming out.
Oh, yeah!
But Antares just gets in there, gets off the blast off, and yeah, very good movement from 9Pandas. And now moving forward to go back to the Alchemist, I would say Radiance into like one more little item, like maybe a Blink. As Quinn makes his way up top, gets himself a quick little kill.
That'll allow Solo to go back to base and get some more blood grenades. I'm not sure if they're out of stock still. I would think so.
Well, he didn't buy one yet, so I assume they're on cooldown.
I would hope so. Maybe there's a bug where Undying gets an infinite supply of it somehow, because he is not alive, so he doesn't really need the blood inside his system, you see, the lore and whatnot.
The lore checks out, actually.
Quinn and Celery now focusing on the tier 1 tower. They should be able to get this uncontested, but 2K lead for 9Pandas. And, I mean, of course, this is an Alchemist game. And how much does that, you think, come into play with this 3K lead? Like, do you feel like 9Pandas are winning this, or is it relatively even?
I would say it's relatively even, but I would give a slight edge to 9Pandas, because I think with the next 1-2 items that come out for Ramses, I would assume that there should be a Blink Dagger in the mix. You have a Lycan that's going to go in, you have an Ember that's going to go in, so helping them as Durachio once again.
Caught out.
Yeah,
they got the burst. He is
gone.
Mega dead. Nice pick off from 9Pandas again. They're all over the map. Solo, I mean, despite the limp on the Undying, he's been everywhere on the map right now.
No, honestly, Solo is kind of, he's owning in this game. He's in 7 out of 8 kills. They're now pressuring a tier 2 tower at 30 minutes. I mean, we talked about, sure, if Gaimin gets to like this mid-late game with a lot of gold, then, you know, their draft is very good, and no doubt about it. But if you can just abuse them like this on the map, you get the Ratio killed again, you take the tier 2, 4K lead. Looks like they want to aim towards Roshan for now. They do have the Flesh Golem and the Tombstone available.
Okay, that's very early Roche, if that is the case.
Yep,
See
looks
how
like
slow Miero is. No boots, of course.
Very
slow.
slow.
Lycanthrope. All right, they're going to go for it. So, see how fast this is. And I would assume that they're going to want to put this on maybe Kiyotaka instead of Ramses.
Yeah, I think
think
just
is a better
Kiyotaka.
option?
I think it's good enough. He just gets to freely go in. I would say he's the most susceptible, especially with Ramses also queuing up. So he's going BKB first to just run in there. He feels like he doesn't need more catch for his team. By blinking in, he feels like his team will kind of do that for him.
Oh my
As this is a juicy stack.
Oh, yeah.
This is income. He's going to have BKB after this is done.
Good God.
Oh yeah, I love gold.
And this is not going to be
Oh,
contested.
the mine. Stole one skeleton.
Okay, all right, fair. 13-minute Roche, and now Ramses, like you said, should be able to finish off or at least get close to this BKB. And considering that it was his second item option, I would assume he's going to want to join fights now.
It is on 9Pandas now to blow open this entire map. You already have the bottom tier 2. You can now look at slowly pushing in mid, make a smoke like into the Radiant Triangle, get in there, because if you run into Gaimin Gladiators, whoever you find, they are dead. It is on them to play the map in a way where they get to hold and not bleed more and hopefully only lose the support and keep their cores farming. Because they have no way of fighting back. Zero. No chance.
And now getting outpost control again. Feels like this is mid-game. It's 15 minutes. They have the tier 2. We'll see how much they want to use, or how much of this these outer towers they want to try and take with this Aegis on Kiyotaka, who is going to be spotted by Tofu. And Quinn is in the area as well to get the telekinesis right into the Dragon Tail. They don't have the damage, though.
Nope, they force one up to the lane as Celery. He's going to say goodbye.
Yep, that's all. The tips! The tips! Oh, Ramses was not one of the people.
That's
That's
good.
the important factor to keep in mind. That's the most important thing of this game that we need to keep track of. Will he tip? Maybe when the Ancient is exposed, that's when he'll feel comfortable.
Yes, I hope he learns his lesson. I think that will be the timing we have to look for. As right, this is a very dangerous alchemist. He is so fat. He is, honestly, if the game continues like this, he might be looking at some 1k GPM towards the end of the game, but let's see. Currently queuing up the Blink, I'm a big fan of. I think your first 2-3 items should always include a Blink Dagger on Alk, because when you're this far ahead when it comes to net worth, you need to use it. Like, you need to push forward for your team. You literally, he has the same net worth as like TB and Beast combined, nearly. So in order for you to get Blink, you just get in there, you use all your net worth, and you push the game forward, because, as we said, Gaimin, they need more time.
Yeah,
the next 5, 6, 7 minutes,
not
no
often
chance.
we see Ace struggling so much. I mean, it's not like his farm is that bad, but compared to like his usual performances, it feels like he's the top net worth on his team at this stage. So they've really done a nice job of containing him.
And you can also tell the state of the map a little bit. Like, Quinn runs into this mid wave, there's a mine coming out, he's forced to blink out, so they have to play very passive as Tofu.
He is spotted
by the
Golem.
Golem.
Steal Flesh Golem, little baby Rubik version. But this version is still in alpha, so they're going to have to scrap that build and try to rework for an open beta someday.
Yes, we have some TP action going on. Kiyotaka chasing Ace.
And gets off the roar. Don't think they're going to have any additional catches. Kiyotaka pretty damn low on mana. Now that the Blink Dagger's online for Ramses.
This
See
is
how much they want to group up.
This is very good. Like, 9Pandas got to push in mid, they got to push in top. You go bottom, even if you don't kill this beast, just don't allow them to push out this area too much, as looks like the Ranchio's TPing up top, wants to consider farming this tier 2 wave, but the Ramses does have a blink coming, so if you're Gaimin, you have to be very careful around the map right now.
Quinn trying to have a battle here with
250
ancient
gold.
Granite Golem. They have to stun it perpetually, and finally it's brought down. That percent HP increase is now gone.
Oh, Ramses is charging up his stun.
Yes, Blink Dagger reveal, Concoction, and the blast off. Nice pass, going to save Bracho for the time being, but eventually is blown up by one of the mines of entice. Concoction was stolen. Tofu, is he actually diving? No.
Nah.
And this is an opportunity to potentially do what, Kazoo? You're in this area. What's in the area? We'll get to that in just a moment. It's a trivia question for you.
Not the Tormentor, Shannon.
Kiyotaka, he's actually surrounded here. Has to be a bit careful. Doesn't have any remnants, it looks like.
Okay.
And that's the Aegis, so a bit of a waste.
The Ramses is TPing. They have to back. Never
Ace
mind, that's
TPing
solo.
out. Yep, solo. He's very scary, though. He might have a blood grenade on him.
He
Sticky
might.
bomb onto Celery. So they will get something out of this, but it feels like that was a bit of a waste of the
he pushes
Aegis.
the beautiful play by Celery. Gets himself the creep, pushes
And
it
more
down the
importantly, it forces 9Pandas away from the Tormentor.
which is
they
not
could
yet
have
alive. But you're right.
That's a good point.
Yes.
But you do have techies. You could have started to plant the mines and,
And
get
then
the
he
solo
kills
kill.
himself.
No, you just walk away and it kills it automatically.
But he will die to it unless anyone is tanking.
No, you don't need to be in range.
Yeah, but it's global.
That's a lie. Is it?
Yeah,
That's true?
You kill yourself.
You're kidding.
Yeah,
I
that's
did this like 2 weeks ago. They fixed it in 2 weeks?
Maybe I missed something, but I'm pretty sure when you deal damage to the outpost, no matter where you are, you take damage.
Really?
That's why you need the bros around, unless they want to do a little bit of trolling and kill him.
Okay, you could do that too. Yeah, it just goes to show you how fast this game feels. Or how fast it is, I should say. It's 19 minutes. It feels
Yeah,
super
just
late
keep going.
Now
Tofu's
Ace
dying
gets
to
off the
creeps.
roar onto Entares. Tofu just dying to creeps, like you said. Gets off the Pavis for the time being. Blast off coming in. And Ace is looking mega dead. Double kill for Solo. He is the MVP
They're not getting
this
out of
game.
this.
Sunder onto Kiyotaka. Nicely jumped from Duraccio, but he's still going to get bursted down eventually.
That's a
triple
triple
kill for
kill.
Solo. Get the rampage for this man. He's got the blood
He's
grenades
dead.
up the wazoo. He's dead. He can't get it. Buy back and get the rampage for God's sake. As Entares gets the 4th member of Gaimin Gladiators, it's a 1 for 4, and this is looking ugly if you're a Gaimin Gladiators fan.
Yeah, you cannot fight into 9Pandas. I'm a little surprised that Gaimin are kind of grouping around mid. Like, when you're behind, that's not the area where you want to be. It's the easiest point of attack. You want to try and keep the map very open, go to side lanes, push it out. But 9Pandas, I mean, they're just striking in there. They have all the items that they need. Helm of Dom, I think drums are coming out as well from Miero. Ramses with the Blink BKB. Kiyotaka, honestly, he's getting very fat as well. Travels, Maelstrom has a Kaya completed. I mean, all of the heroes, they just want to fight. When you're looking at 9Pandas, same with their items. They're all equipped and itemized for this triple blood grenade at the ready.
Oh my, how often do they, what's the timer on this?
I mean, to be fair, he didn't have any like the last 5-6 minutes, but now he's got them all. You should be able to combine them. Like, if you hold 6,
Mega
they turn
blood
into
grenade?
mega blood grenade.
Yeah, and then if you get 9 plus a cheese, you get Rupture.
I like that, actually. As we have a smoke coming out, Gaimin are looking for something. Looks like they might just find an old man. I don't know if that's what they want.
Yeah.
Solo.
Dragon Tail opener. Solo.
Gets off the
Puts
tomb.
down the tombstone. Now
Stolen
Ramsey's
tombstone.
coming in with the concoction from behind. Focused on the supports for hits. He's going to get roared, though, for the time being, as the tombstone finally taken out. But Kiyotaka doing work. Double kill already.
Oh,
Big
double
blast
suicide.
off onto the two members here from Gaimin. And that is not good for Gaimin Gladiators. It's a 1 for 4. Solo does buy back.
So also
Raven.
smoking himself back to mid, wants to get there faster.
Did he use any of his blood grenade? He used 0 of them.
Well, he's stacking up for the rupture.
But Ramsey's just BKB'd for some reason.
It works.
Okay.
Did
That's
he-
his tip.
Did he show it to Radiant? Did they see it?
It was right on the cusp, so I'm not sure.
I hope they saw it, so then it's like a taunt. I
That's
beat
right.
you without my BKB.
That's right.
C now has an AC, and I mean, if Gaimin get to hold on to this game, we'll also see the Wolf buy, but I'm a little scared for them right now. 17,000 gold lead at 21 minutes. Sure, it's against an Alchemist, but still, as Doratio finds himself little Ramses. He's gonna go back, doesn't want to throw this game. I mean, at this point, if you're 9Pandas, this game is in your hands.
It is, but I'm trying to put this in a nice way.
Nice way.
They've thrown some games.
Yes.
They've thrown a lot, actually.
That is, I mean, what Gaimin are looking for right now is this BKB completed on Quinn, Discardi on top of the Ratio, and then they need to try and take a good fight. I would say they have, this is the longest Rosh time in the world, so this is good for Gaimin. They're going to be able to complete their items, but I feel like you may have to, I mean, that fight seems impossible, but you need to either fight there or then when they go to your high ground.
Yeah.
I don't, Gaimin have one more fight in them, and if they lose it, I think this game is over.
Yeah, I don't know if they have the damage yet. That's kind of the issue. But we'll see in this next fight. It's going to be a BKB onto Quinn, who is now going to be spotted.
Blood
Solo
grenade.
in the Flesh Golem form. Quinn TPing out, and he'll actually
the
find the
juke
right
spot?
area. I didn't.
What
How
the
is
hell?
that not in vision, actually?
What a god.
Like a
I
nice
didn't know
little
that
crevice
juke spot even
there.
existed.
It just looks like it's right in the open.
Yeah. Apparently, I mean, there's this one little tree that does cover it, so well played from Quinn. Never seen that spot before, but well done by him here.
Like you said, long Roche timer, so 9Pandas will just have to disperse and farm out, but this gives Gaimin some opportunity to finish some of these items, like the BKB that we talked about for Quinn. I think the Manta, no, actually he did go for the Scotty on TV, so.
He did just finish it. And so the other thing is when you're behind, you want to like push out waves and try to force them to come back to you. But with Kiyotaka having travels and having the Lycan in his team, he can always just cover the one lane that Gaimin is going to go to try and push out. And they don't have the best heroes at stopping him. So they can, 9Pandas can basically play the whole map and pressure at the same time as Radiant get themselves the Tormentor.
Good boys, good
Shard
boys.
for Tofu.
It's a good save. Not as good as Grab Ally, of course. We'll see if 9Pandas even bother with it, because they haven't needed any types of saves yet.
Oh, yep, they are.
Oh.
He heard you.
Well, I think they saw that Gaimin did theirs and like, oh yeah, this is an objective.
Oh yeah,
Let's,
right. Thanks for the reminder, Gaimin.
Good stuff. So
Like that ace.
it's either the techies are undying here.
It's gonna be techie soon.
Grab Ally it is. Too strong, man.
In the pool, baby. Oh, counterplay for the DK stun, counterplay for the roar. They'll take that. Roche is up in 30. We'll see very soon if Gaimin are even thinking about contesting it. Because if they do want to, they need to be moving there already.
Yeah.
Unless maybe they want to set up on the Dire side, hoping that it won't spawn, which luckily for them, it will spawn basically around the nighttime spawn, so it will be on the Dire side.
They'll have 10 seconds until he moves over.
Well,
Can they kill in 10 seconds?
no. Maybe if you have 80 mines that he just
80?
keeps walking through.
Okay.
As 9Pandas going for smoke, anticipating something. Ace is close. He does have a Crimson Guard. This is very good against the Dire cores.
Yeah, he's
But
gonna
he's
show
all
himself.
alone.
Kiyotaka gets off the Searing Chains. Tombstone is there as well, and that is a dead Beastmaster. No buyback at all, so this is going to be likely a free Roche for 9Pandas. We'll see if Gaimin want to contest anyway.
Yeah, they can't. I think there's no chance. As Roche, this is gonna die real fast. You have Solar Crest, you have Howl, Acid Spray, AC, some Flesh Golem hits or whatever that you had from before as well. So Aegis G's on deck as well for them. And yeah, all that's gonna be on Gaimin's mind right now is how do we take this next fight? What do we need to do? What's the positioning? Do we need buybacks, item timing, smoke around? Because this next fight is incredibly hard to execute for them.
Quinn about halfway to the Black Drag. Well, actually, he needs 2 levels on top of that to be able to achieve the Black Dragon status. And is the Ags done? Not quite yet. So Miro 500 away from Wolfbite. Not sure if they even want to wait for anything. But that is theoretically a pretty good power spike to be able to bite the Elk.
Celery is doing some very annoying stuff, but very necessary stuff. He's trying to cut the top wave with a Black Dragon. He's got some creeps on mid as well. So trying to just give his team more time and space in order to, you know, try and get towards the items that you do need in this game to fight back. Because honestly, Gaimin in the last couple of minutes have done a good job at holding the game and keeping the net worth kind of even, which from this standpoint in the game, it's a very nice job from them.
Yep, so it was cut a bit, but there is still this big wave here, and 9Pandas is going to have to make sure that they protect it at all costs, as Chemical Rage apparently stolen here.
It's a siege creep. Let's see if they want to
fortify.
No.
And no more wave. Be a few seconds before the backdoor protection kicks in. Let's see if they can kill the tower first. It looks like they will be able to. And now the exposed barracks. Quinn going with the Dragon Tail, available still. As Concoction from Ramses will be self-cast.
A little bit of a self-stun, as I think Ramses has, no, his Abyssal, or wait, whose career is dead? Is that I think Ramses has an Abyssal coming out, or soon, or whatever it may be. He did have it queued up earlier. Yeah, here it is. So that's very scary. I think whoever he jumps into, unless Tofu's available and quick on a telekinesis save, that guy will be blown out of the game. Looks like Solo is drawing a line. Maybe they want to do some surprise jump into the base, but I don't know if they're holding a smoke for this play. They're not.
Yep, the wave will be coming in from mid, as the Ranger Axe is now being beat on by Ramses. They will be able to give that up freely. Dragon Tail now onto Ramses.
They don't deal any damage to him.
Yeah, that is the main issue. And
Or
Racha's going to pop the meta. But there's the grab ally. The reflection bugging out horribly. That's an amazing animation. But the roar onto Solo himself. Ramses can pop the BKB along with a Concoction, trying to focus on his way, but he can only use it onto Ace, who gets beat down. No buyback for him. Blast up onto Darachi, who finally gets off that BKB now, focusing all his efforts onto Antares. Will be able to get this kill in all likelihood, but Ramses now the target that he probably wants to kill. Buyback from Celeries, meanwhile Kiyotaka keeping the rest of Gaimin Gladiators busy. Pops that cheese, like you said, attempting to TP out with the Dragon Tail just in time, so a successful hold from Gaimin. It does cost them a buyback. And 9Pandas, I mean, they still have the Aegis. How much time does that even have left? Still 2 minutes, so they can regroup and try for this again, but not the cleanest take.
Oh, it's a very good hold for them. All they had to do was buyback on Celery, as I feel like 9Pandas went a little deep here. Sure, you do pick up Ace at the start, but now you're going onto Celery very deep. The Rachi just stands his ground with the BKB. Scotty also, Chemical Rage ran out. Like, so your top network Alchemist losing a lot of his power here. And Gaimin, the closer they get to their next items, this is a very big deal.
I mean, this, I would think that you just buy a shard on Ramses. You get the second Chemical Rage, kind of.
Yeah,
Berserk Potion.
The little purge. It's very good, especially too. So in this game, you can take off the reflection, give yourself some attack speed. So Kiyotaka ending up dying there while using the cheese will have Shivas for the next fight. But Gaimin getting to hold even any fight is great for them. Quinn finishing up his Agonist Scepter. Like, DK is going to start getting pretty strong. You have to be careful if you're 9Pandas here.
Yeah, there's a certain point where you just don't bother even trying to kill him.
Yeah. It looks like they're just
still a level away from getting the 18 though. And Ramses and company want to use this Aegis. Gonna go for the mid lane. The Chemical Rage is popped. It's the highest net worth at 29 minutes of any
I'm not
hero.
surprised.
Yeah, he has been beasting it up. He's going to start actually buying the Aghanim Scepter. We'll talk about that in just a moment, of course. Very important. Darachi,
very important.
Try to delay this as long as possible. Tofu taking so much damage. The Concoction coming out now. Who's it going to be on?
Oh, nice
like
try
Darachi not able to dodge that, though. Continuing to throw things at Dyrachyo from afar. And there's the Sunder, bringing Ramses to half HP, but again, with that Aegis at 10 seconds left, he's now a Wolf, so they have that Axe onto Miero.
Aegis is running out, though.
Yeah, the Aegis running out makes this a little awkward. Plus
Roar.
the concoction not being there. Gets off the BKB during the
Oh,
roar.
the grab
There's
ally.
grab ally inside. He's waiting. Kiyotaka taking a massive amount of damage. Will Remnant away. Looks like Entice will not be so lucky, though. Double kill for Dyrachyo. Another successful hold so far as Miero
Miero.
getting beat down from afar.
Whoa,
The
whoa,
axes
whoa.
do hit. The towers might be enough. Looks like Quinn comes in to finish the job, and some way, somehow, Gaimin Gladiators defend again.
Ooh, my friends on 9Pandas, they gotta be more careful with these moves. You have no chemical rage, your Aegis is running out too. GG just finding a perfect timing to go here. I mean, the grab ally really doing a lot of work. But look at Kiyotaka, he just has to go out of the fight as well. And I feel like the whole game turned now. Now it's 9Pandas who, in my opinion, they have like one more fight in them. Miero just has 20 tower shots just flying behind him.
Yeah, the fact that they have not been able to get anything other than essentially a range racks in that top lane, that is not good for 9Pandas. And you're right, this is a type of lineup that will run out of steam, especially when you're building all your items into this death ball going at once. And if you can't do it over a course of a couple pushes, it spell trouble for them.
Is Ramses gonna stun himself just to check if it works?
Yep.
Which it does. Because the thing is, for Ramses at 9Pandas, he's been at his strongest point for like the last 6 minutes. Sure, he can still buy some items. He did split the Radiance for the Nullifier, so he'll have that now to like dispel some Force Staffs, Glimmer Capes, the Solar Crest as well. So that will help out. But these heroes on Gaimin Gladiators, they're getting very strong in this game. Like DKTV are not heroes to be underestimated the longer that this game does go. I would like 9Pandas to be more decisive. Like they're just casually walking up and like trying to kill a tier 3 and like try to hit the racks. Like smoke up, go for a play. You're far behind, you're far ahead, you're super strong, but they're not showing me the confidence right now.
Well, Ags is gifted from Ramses to Kiyotaka. That is one of the best Ags in the game.
Yeah.
That's a pretty big power spike for him.
That's a big one.
And you can see his net worth just catapult now. Yeah, this is maybe the strongest they're going to be in this game. Because at this point, you start thinking about, like, the Ags on the other heroes are, I mean, it's not like they're bad. You might even think of using it on Lycan just to get the refund so you can buy an item on top of it. But this is where Alchemist starts to drop off a bit.
He can upgrade his Blink and then like maybe drop the boots for something. So he's got like maybe a couple more minutes in him where he does feel good. But I think for 9Pandas, now especially you need to hit the time in the game where you talk about how you want to fight. Because the last two fights, like doing it casually, just walking in from the front, is not good. The type of heroes they have is you want to overwhelm the enemy team. You want to get in there with your Ember. Now he has the Axe, he can do it even easier. You have the shapeshift on yourself. You shapeshift on Ramses as well. You just get in there and you overwhelm them. That's how they need to fight. Because Gaimin, they're just going to play the same fight as all the other ones. Allow DK and Dyrachyo to hit and they're chilling.
Kiyotaka going for a very, I mean, I guess it is only 33 minutes. Feels super late. Going for BKB now. That's going to be extremely effective. Obviously, there is the roar, though, you have to think about. And Dyrachyo with the Daedalus. Ramses, he sees blood. Going for Tofu to start things out with that Nullifier, but that Hand of God is going to keep him very safe. And now Ramses is going to get inside the tombstone to grab ally again.
Kiyotaka in the back, though.
He pops out early. Now he's taking massive damage. He's going to die outright. No buyback for him at all. And Gaimin Gladiators, they use a buyback onto a support, but their cores are extremely healthy. Kiyotaka gets off a nice slight chains. Going for ace. Looks like he might be able to take him. A triple kill for him. And because of the Aghanim Scepter, able to get away. But
he has a new remnant in 3 seconds.
Yeah, he gets lifted up. Attempting to TP out again, and he will not make it! The blast off not in time to save him. Now Entice trying to go with the same route with the TP in front of everybody, and that's 0 for 3 on the TPs. This game for 9Pandas, and now I think Gaimin Gladiators are at the advantage.
They're in the driver's seat now for sure. There's Kiyotaka in the backline here with Miero, does get to pick up both the supports in the backline. Good buyback from Tofu, but he's losing his Alchemist in the meantime. As I mean, Dyrachyo and Quinn, their fight is not really on a timer, right? Their forms, they last so long, whereas for 9Pandas, when your BKB runs out or you lose Ramses, you lose your entire front line. As this was a nice play by Kiyotaka, gets the kill, and with the shard gets himself a new remnant to try and get out. Then he even tries for the slide of fist into TP play, but it just barely doesn't work.
Yeah, good attempt.
So close.
If this came out a quarter second earlier,
he would have lived.
unfortunate for 9Pandas, but we brought this up. I mean, I'm not going to say that they've thrown. I don't think that is the case. It's just been better played by Gaimin, but we've seen this story before. 9Pandas at a seemingly insurmountable advantage, and now it's slipping away fight by fight. And like you said, I think Gaimin are in the driver's seat. The reflections have been insane, by the way. Like, they didn't have Radiance there, but in the past they had Radiance, Assault, Cuirass. Like, you're getting these auras temporarily on the side of Gaimin.
I mean, he just does so much. And now Dyrachyo, he's got a butterfly. I think both Quinn and Dyrachyo, they are... You can't kill them anymore if you're 9Pandas. Like, you've gone over this threshold of items and HP where no matter what you do, Dyrachyo will be able to stand his ground. And when TB hits this time of the game, he is by far at his strongest. And not only that, he's got the Beast Aura too, backing up. He's got the heals, all the other auras. So 9Pandas, this was certainly their game so far. They still have... I would like to also say that they haven't really used the shapeshift that well on Ramses. Like,
That's
he kind
true.
of went in on his own in last fight. Oh, but here it might be. Double shapeshift.
Yeah, we'll see. They're going to try to go for a last-ditch effort despite being against the
Nice
Aegis
shot by
right now.
Tofu.
Dyrachyo in the meta form. They're going to focus everything onto Ace to start things out. Ramsey's beating right through him, and they get him. And it looks like Anteri is going to be taken out easily by Dyrachyo, and the tombstone is placed. Well, nobody's going to go inside. Already 3 dead for Gaimin Gladiators. Now they're focusing on everybody that does not have the Aegis. And Dyrachyo gets stunned, can't get off the Sunder in time. That is the Aegis down, and now he's going to be in melee form. And 9Pandas is going to completely surround him.
Any high fives?
Gets off the Sunder. Gets off the BKB as well. He wants to try to fight this out. Ramsey, he's going to get taken out very easily. Solo looks to be next. Another Sunder comes out. Fiero has to walk away, but Dyrachyo eventually falls.
Jesus.
Not going to be able to take them 1 versus 5.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know how they take this fight into Aegis, Cheese, Refresher Shard, but they win handily.
They fought properly for once, where they use all their spells and like they set up the fight with the double shapeshift. They run in the back. Tofu is trying to make as much space in the background as possible with his own remnants, and like all the supports just can't really play. And they found the best target with Ace, where they just go together, grab ally, making, I don't even know if it did some space here, but Antares also buys back. Like they had to lose like 4 or 5 fights in order to understand how they want to fight.
Apparently.
Let's go, 9Pandas.
Apparently. But this part was hilarious, though. Dyrachyo really showing up. And we can see on the live cam that Seller is going to be taken out. Blast off onto 2 with a Gleipnir there as well. Quinn and Ace have to be careful. Ace has been dying left, right, and center this game. Good targeting from 9Pandas. This is all without Ramses, by the way.
That's a Wolf Ember.
As Fiero and company looking to take out 2 sets of racks. As Quinn slowing Solo to a crawl. The mid racks is now down. Looks like Solo... Can he make it to the grab ally? He does, and then he dies. Grab ally temporarily saves him.
Literally died at the same time to like some splash attack from Quinn there, I think. As they did get 2 buybacks outright, yeah. So both Quinn and Celery, very costly defense, but Gaimin will be very happy to, well, hold on to the game. As well, at this point, it's just going to be about which cores really get to stand their ground and hit. 9Pandas, their initiations need to be crisp, because if they mess up at any point and Quinn and Dyrachyo get to stand their ground, they're going to blast everyone from 9Pandas out of this map.
Let's see, okay.
Ah, he's fine. Does Ramses have the shard? No.
Shard to Antares. Congratulations, techies. I mean, what were they hoping for? I mean, Miero has the, what, the wolf spawning.
He doesn't, but it's, I think the wolf is kind of whatever. I would
remnant
say.
For Kiyotaka would have been pretty good.
He's got that, so you want either your techies or your alt to get it, and so techies did get it. I would say you're pretty happy about that. Reactive Taser, it's a good game for it.
Yeah, what is Ramses building now? It looks like he's going for, he has Butterfly. So overwhelming Blink.
Yeah.
And then Shard, so no more Ags, unfortunately. Love to see some Aghanim Scepter.
Yeah, if he wants to make himself strong as Kiyotaka.
You have Ace, you can see that is the target every single fight for 9Pandas, and it's worked out as of late. Ramses in the wolf form, gonna
self-stun
himself.
Second wolf form.
Yeah. And
that's
the
a lot of bros running at you.
Kiyotaka is insane. He's gonna get silenced though, right in the midst of things. Quinn, telekinesis, but the grab ally saving him again. And now Quinn, he's gonna get grab ally. What is this? 2 grab allies in the same game. How can you destroy these tombstones?
Oh, Quinn,
But
he's dying.
Quinn, he comes out of the tombstone and dies shortly after. Doesn't work as well if you're not on actual Undying's team, it seems. A 2-for-1 to start
Dead
this
for 2
fight.
minutes.
Concoction from Ramsey doesn't have his ult to work with, though.
He's
He's just
shredded.
getting right-clicked down by Dyrachyo. Absolutely melts him. The roar now into Kiyotaka. Do they have the damage? Sleight of fist. Does he have the remnants up? Another sleight of fist. He's going to get the kill, but dies right after the fact. So in the end, it's a 3-for-3. These fights are insane. There's an assault curious on a Chen.
There's some double tombstone action coming out. It's honest, it saved both teams there. Kiyotaka gets put in the first, Tofu stealing the tombstone to then put Quinn in it for the time being, as 20 million zombies are out on the deck right now, slowing everyone.
There's a third tombstone, right? That's the talent from
It's,
Solo.
Solo dying, yeah, that checks out.
Unless he has a refresh. 3 grab allies available in this fight.
Here, I think maybe you could have tried to play a slower fight, but look at the Dyrachyo's damage. Like, Beast Aura, Penitence, and the Thunder Hide also giving the attack speed to him. Just overestimating how they can fight. Because Dyrachyo is a beast if he gets to hit. He nearly got out there, as he did get a new remnant from killing Celery. Celery has an AC.
And boots of Tranquil, that Tranquil boots picked up.
Boots of Tranquil?
Right? Boots of Tranquil, yeah. Into the boots of Bearing, of course, very exciting.
Yeah, Tombstone on death has been acquired, so we'll see.
Gotta be careful not to give away that Tombstone.
Yeah.
That gives Rubik 2 saves with his Telekinesis shard.
Whew, this game is actually getting crazy.
Yeah.
We're getting some of the higher talents. As Dyrachyo got himself the Sunder talent, I believe.
He used that in the last fight before that, I think, right?
Yeah.
I think 2 uses.
As Ramses is trying to scrape in.
Yeah, that's a lot of
his.
Trickster.
4 of them.
Yeah, that's...
I mean, you're playing into like triple physical damage around, so let's check out. I mean, Kiyotaka's doing a great job in these fights, getting on the backlines, like trying to take specifically Tofu out of the game, who in return is also doing a good job at trying to delay it as much as possible. I mean, this Trickster Cloak could be annoying. If you're Kiyotaka, you need someone with a gem or a dust to follow you in order to even kill the Rubik.
True, Kiyotaka's going to show on the wave. You can hear Quinn using his ult.
They're looking for a play.
For an opening. Dyrachyo's going to show himself. A little awkward engagement, Kiyotaka.
Okay, Hex.
6 to start things out. Dyrachyo left all alone right now. Quinn's going to try to focus down on the Solo on dying. But you can see the Terrorblade already at half HP, but the Thunder comes out onto the Lycan, and he's going to drop like it's hot, but Quinn dies first. And now Ace, the recipient of all this damage from Ramses. Again, they're targeting him time and time again. 3 for 2, and now they're going to completely surround Dyrachyo. Can they actually take out this Terrorblade in meta form? He is just standing his ground, and Solo with all these sentries cannot get away. Double kill for Dyrachyo. Solo buys back into the game. These tombstones are starting to really stack up here. Gonna be able to kill out that tombstone eventually. And Ramsey's trying to bide his time as Dyrachyo's gonna get spotted.
The flip-flop.
Gleipnir to keep him in place.
Oh, he's coming back soon.
They gotta wait for Solo. He's got his blood grenades ready to go. Searing Chains. Concoction from Ramses ready to go as well. Dyrachyo trying to stand his ground again in a 1 versus 3. Will he get the Sunder up? Can they land it? The Abyssal Blade is enough. He does have buyback though.
I don't even
Ace
know
already used his and they have to defend their base. Looks like 2 sets of racks now. The melee did go down in the top lane.
I don't even know how Tofu survived in this fight. I'm pretty sure Kiyotaka chased him for like 38 seconds. He just somehow TP's out in the fight, but either way, 9Pandas get to win the fight. Got some buybacks going on. They're going to try to push forward as we're in for a heavy roller coaster in this game. But Kiyotaka, he's got a refresher coming out. This man is a scary ember. This has to be by far the highest hero damage on this tournament at this stage. 68k?
No, that's right. That's
that is
quite a bit. Right on cue. Now, even if they expend the buyback onto Dyrachyo, he does not have meta for 36 seconds. And it's not like he has an Axe or anything to get the temporary meta. But Quinn, he's going to try to open things up. They're going to get the Dragon Tail first.
Roar.
Kiyotaka
Grab ally.
into the roar, and he's dead! No grab ally, Solo dieback.
They did this without the Dyrachyo buyback, and Kiyotaka, he doesn't have one in return.
That is disastrous for 9Pandas.
I don't know if they...
And Quinn, I mean, he has an Orchid. Now, his damage is starting to get pretty absurd. Before, it was just him being mega tanky.
Yeah.
But now the damage is coming through.
Yeah, you always need like this 1-2 more items after your axe to start becoming a threat in these longer drawn-out fights, but during this time of the death timers from 9Pandas, Roshan is going to respawn here. Because, yeah, we see the he's just a beast. They can't really deal with him until the very end. You have to play some Medusa gaming where you just ignore him.
Yeah.
It's here, nice job with the...
Look at Solo coming in for the grab ally, not
the
in
lift
range.
back though.
And you can see him lift his arms, but he hasn't worked out enough.
with the limp.
Yeah, I don't think he can build definition in his muscles considering he is dead, an undying creature.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Can't work out those bones, those muscles.
Well, 3K lead for 9Pandas means absolutely nothing here. And this should be a free Roche like he talked about, so it's going to be another refresher shard.
Oh my god. What do they even want? Double? Do you want double
meta.
war?
It's
Do you
gotta
want
be
double
meta.
meta? I think you could give it to Ace and then pass it on to Dyrachyo in the fight. Because like there's immediate use if you see the double roar, whereas if you want double meta, it's like, I think you have more time to coordinate, but either way, gonna be happy about that. As these fights are just getting crazy. 9Pandas are gonna have to, they need to continue doing what they have been doing. Where Kiyotaka goes in the back, he does his Dragon Ball, fly around, bounce around, try to kill Tofu, and just try to kite Dyrachyo. So they're doing a party gate into bottom.
They will show themselves on the wave.
What does Celery even buy next?
Rapier.
Yeah, that's a good one.
He has the attack speed now. With Ace. Yeah, he is very rich.
I guess you could like buy some Ags, encourage someone.
I'm still waiting for a block of cheese at some point.
Nah, that's never coming. You think any of them think about that? Nah.
No, they probably forgot it existed.
Yeah.
How much HP would it have to be worth going for? It's 500 right now.
I feel like it would have to make you invincible.
Invincible.
Yeah.
Okay.
For
That's
3 seconds, and you can use it on an ally.
That's unreasonable.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Kiyotaka pushing this lane. He's going for a nullifier now. And
bottom tower has fallen.
I think it's a... The nullifier is a good choice. You need to nullify this goddamn Tofu guy who just glimmers and like tricksters away from you as they're going for...
yeah, they're going some Rat Dota. Dyrachyo and company are poking at the high
Rainbow
ground, but
TPs to the
if
back.
they're not careful, they will get megaed. And this is going to be a mass TP
There's
from
a roar
Gaimin
that went off.
Gladiators. They get the roar into the Dragon Tail. This will cost the life of Miero.
Oh, and the fear.
Yeah, they do have that Aghanim Scepter on Dyrachyo now. So Terror Wave at the ready. So that play is punished, but it does prevent them from pushing the high ground of 9Pandas. As Ramsey's continuing to farm.
For what? At this point, so
I mean,
he can get the shard, give himself an axe.
That's true. Axe was buffed at some point to give more damage, and what else does it give actually? Bonus damage and Spell Amp, so Spell Amp is useless, of course.
Yeah, pretty
In this build.
not so important for him.
Yeah, he already has part of it actually. That's right. That's the change, right? You don't have to have an Axe to benefit from it directly.
Yeah. Okay, I mean, Ace is 25. He's got the Roar talent.
At this point, getting an Axe on like techies, if you can gift one to him, fighting into that minefield can be pretty insane.
Yeah, it will help. The only problem is that Gaimin have a lot of heroes that actually get to stand their ground. It's better against heroes that have to like move a lot, but I mean, you'll take anything at this point because fights are not easy for you.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's a game changer necessarily, but like at this point, like what else can you go for?
Yeah, I don't think you can do much really.
Like the Undying Axe is good, I guess. I mean, but Solo, I don't know if he has enough in him to get these decays off.
Yeah, honestly, I wouldn't mind the Undying Axe. I think getting a lot of decays out is good, but this game is just about teamfight execution at this point. And I think it's swaying more and more in the favor of Gaimin, where 9Pandas need to start being creative with how they fight, how they move. Need some very crisp communication at this point as Gaimin, they're hitting 9Pandas racks for the first time in this game now.
Backdoor protected, but they have the damage. It seems
Kiyotaka?
right there. 2 heroes. Kiyotaka wants to get the fight started right off the bat. The concoction coming from Ramsey. He is a wolf. He's going to be able to take out that Rubik pretty damn fast, but the roar on the Kiyotaka. Sleight Fist at the remnant away. Celery looks like he's going to be the first to fall. And now Quinn on the high ground. Kiyotaka trying to out him, but he can't get to the other side of the trees. Might have to TP back to get his mana back. and Quinn just continuing to pound from above.
Thunder.
And Dyrachyo is there as well, as Solo looks to be mega dead, but he still has such a high HP pool. And you can see they are going to get Dyrachyo. That is the Aegis, and now Quinn can be the target. It's nullified right now, the concoction to follow. He's running out of steam, and Kiyotaka, now that he has that full mana capacity, able to do a lot of damage. Triple kill for Ramses in this fight as Dyrachyo continuing to stand his ground with that BKB meta, but he's getting kited as gets off the Sunder, but there's the blast off to follow. He gets off the Refresher, another BKB for him,
Sunder.
and another Sunder to follow, another wave. Can he do the damage needed to actually make a difference in this fight? Because he is getting kited so hard, and you can see their base is getting absolutely destroyed. He's gonna get silent. There's the blast off, and down goes Terrorblade.
Yeah, close on the chains there as well. Okay, Dyrachyo's gonna be forced to have to buy back here as 9Pandas just kind of swinging around the fight with the double wolf form, the ping pong ball that Kiyotaka is, just flying around. Did have to use his refresher, probably had like 14 remnants in this fight.
That's, yeah, full team wipe, 2 buybacks, and the important thing is, I feel like 9Pandas they're just gonna go in this next few seconds because Terror Wave is down for 50 seconds, Meta down for 100, and he's already used that Refresher chart, although he is about to purchase Refresher Orb. So he will have that at his disposal again.
He's still very strong. He's gonna be, he does have enough money now, as, I mean,
absolute raid boss.
He got off like 4 hexes in the last fight as well, which is absurd. It just goes to show how 9Pandas did play this fight by kiting it out, getting multiple rounds of spells off against the low duration BKBs, as now we're back to the Radiant base.
Yep, fortification. Can they get megas, and will that even be enough at this stage of the game? As Kiyotaka, with the ridiculous amount of damage output in this game, they're going to try to go onto the Rubik, tries to get the 4-step up, but the Nullifier is there. But Tofu, he steals the Revenant, but the Abyssal Dyrachyo, he's dead! Dieback! Oh my goodness, now Ramses and company trying to go on top of Quinn, but he's going to get saved via the telekinesis. Tombstone placed by Solo, and they're going to focus down the buildings, knowing that this Terrorblade cannot get back into the game. Now if they want to the Ancient fully exposed. Quinn's going to go inside the Ancient. Backdoor protection is there, though, so 9Pandas might have to at least temporarily retreat and wait for a wave, but the blink in from Ramses, he wants to get revenge onto Quinn. The roar applied to him right now, as Quinn's still inside the freaking Ancient as the Dragon. He is hexed up, nullified. Ace doing a lot of damage with these drums. Are they actually going to focus the Ancient, or are they going to go for these kills? Ramses with the concoction, blast off from Antares. Again, Quinn continuing to rain blows from above inside the Ancient. He's going to go invis temporarily as they're trying to focus down this Ancient, but they don't have the damage yet. The buybacks come out now from 9Pandas. Shivas is there. Quinn finally will drop. He does have his buyback available as Ace gets the Tombstone, and now Kiyotaka.
Ace still has cheese.
The roar is there again, and the cheese to follow. Is this going to be enough damage for Ace? No DK form for Quinn, so he's in this pathetic melee form right now. They take out Kiyotaka, but he remnants back in, gets a huge slide of fist, and this looks like the beginning of the end for Gaimin Gladiator, but that's another buyback on the Ace, but that's a dieback from the side of Quinn, and now surely they can just focus on the Ancient instead of these heroes, and Ace, that will be the dieback for him. And 9Pandas eventually will take game 1. Holy balls, this was a good one. This was a good one.
What a sicko game. We just had like 18 like back and forths. 9Pandas with a sick early and mid game and making, you know, some mistakes. Game and bring it back. They go to their base. You go back and forth. You have like 18 billion different spell usages, buybacks back and forth. But 9Pandas, holy my god, just somehow bring it back with a 2-minute throne push.
That was very back and forth. And there was a point where I thought Gaimin were in the driver's seat. I thought they were going to win. Yeah. We've seen this story before. We mentioned it in this cast. We mentioned it literally every time these teams face each other because it seems to happen time and time again. But 9Pandas able to take it this time. And hey, is it Ramses not tipping? Is that the secret to their success?
That's the sauce. But also, bro, Kiyotaka's Ember, holy damn. This guy put a lot of people on his back in this game. His damage output, his prioritization in the team fight, always going on the back. Yeah, Kiyotaka is, I've got my eyes on this young kid for sure. This guy is good.
He has absolutely destroyed. He was level 30 by the end of the game, 17-5 and 23. That buyback, I mean, that's the thing about Ember Spirit in these extreme late game situations. When you have the refresher, when you have buyback, you can remnant all the way across to the other side of the map. Like that is, there's not many heroes that can have that kind of impact in this type of late game scenario. But what are you looking to for?